Hey guys, and welcome back. So I didn't make a video yesterday because I actually went and saw Warcraft, which was it was good. Um, no, I think they did well with the story as best they could. I think they were trying to fit in a bit too much, but if from what I've seen, if what they're trying to do is do a story for Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, um, then um, then I think it's going to be difficult to pack that all in anyway. Um, and they've already sort of started without putting too many spoilers, without saying too many spoilers. They've already sort of impacted the story in a way where it won't be the same as the game like throughout. Um, I don't really want to give an example, so the movie's not going to be sticking around for too much longer, at least not in uh, cinemas here, because it's school holidays, so a lot of the kids' movies are taking over the prime spots. Like we were kind of lucky to go see it at a time that was reasonable, because I think as of today, the only session is 9 o'clock, and like 9 p.m. and that's kind of too late. Because you'd be coming out at like 11:30, 12 on a cold day, on a weekday. Um, yeah, not not really keen to do that, to be honest. Um, but I mean, uh, so yeah, I went yesterday, which meant it started at 6, got back about 9, 9, what am I trying to say? Got back at about 9:30, I think. Um, so, um, but yeah, it was good. The very first, let's just talk a little bit about it, I suppose. The very first scene, which is well, apart from the very opening scene, I think the very first scene you start off with the orcs, um, and it took a little bit to get used to how they were portraying them. Because obviously the orcs can't just be no words, fight everything kind of characters. They need dialogue. They need um, some depth to them, I suppose. Uh, and they they did. Um, it felt the orcs felt more human uh, at the start, which was a bit off-putting to start with. But it made sense because uh, the movie's actually portraying the orcs in a way that they are obviously the audience can relate to, but when they're talking to humans, appear more gruff, and there's a good scene that sort of uh, ties those two versions, like the audience version and the human or version within the movie itself, uh, if that makes sense. Um, it was good. Um, Apart from that, let's see. Obviously all the orcs were CGI, and they look good. A lot of people saying, especially when trailers were coming out, that look like the orcs didn't fit in with the live action stuff. There was only one time when I thought that was true, and it's a bit of a spoiler as well, so I won't mention it, but uh, there's a character that has a change, um, an orc character that has a change, and when he does it, it looks very puppet-like or something that's been animated, but I don't know. That might just be me. Um, um, yeah, the orc voice actors, and I think they obviously did motion capture as well. Were good. Um, there's a lot of secondary animation in the movie, which is awesome. Like a lot of like the skin, like when if they're like rubbing part of their face, like the skin moving, and I watched a little documentary that was saying that they had brought in or had developed like a new way to do hair, and you could tell that that was working well. Just little things like that, like the secondary animation for the characters was very good. Possibly, like very possibly, um, a bit too much, but um, I I don't think so. In the end, I don't think so. I think it was good. The human characters were good. The the character that played the king was good. I guess the main knight character, didn't like his acting. Can't remember the character's name. I should know it because I've played the games, but I can't. Um, but Khadgar's actor was good, and Medivh um, was good too. And the only orc that was played by live action, which was Garona, her acting was good as well. A lot of the support characters were, in my opinion, a bit questionable, but um, they had such minor roles, it didn't really matter. Um, um, and the CGI for the other Alliance races was good too. So the dwarves, I think the elves might have been live action. The Draenei, you see them a little bit in the movie. Um, the elves. What are the other races? Well, Worgen they didn't have, and elf, dwarf, human, elf, dwarf, human. Gnome. They didn't have any gnomes. Which which would make which makes sense because I think the gnomes weren't introduced till later. From memory, I think it might not even have been like mentioned until World of Warcraft rather. Um, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Um, but other than that, it was good. So we'll see what happens if they do a second one. I would definitely like it because would be more excited to see if what they do with the Arthas part of the timeline. Um, that won't that wouldn't be at least movie 3. So we'd be looking at several years till that comes out. Um, we'll see what happens. I think it's done well enough in most countries to warrant a second. And I think from the second Warcraft on, the story can be a bit more interesting, I suppose. Because the premise for this one was very simple. And as a result, they had to keep sort of moving characters around at a quick pace. Because otherwise there wouldn't have been anything. But yeah. But anyway, I think it was good, and I would probably still recommend people go see it. Just be wary that you might have to do a bit of research, either going in or coming out of the movie. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Hopefully you've had a good Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'll talk to you again. Yeah, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Alright, cheers guys.